What's up, YouTubers? So yesterday I started on a Lincoln Navigator with the 5.4 Triton modular motor. As you guys know, this is a common Ford problem. The spark plugs get stuck in the cylinder head. And it's not the whole thing, it's just part of it, which really blows. So I'm going to show you the tool to remove it, how to use it real quick, give you a quick review and what I found on using it. So real quick, this is what happens. You start undoing the spark plug and it turns out, and then this piece comes out. And you think, awesome! But you notice there's no ground strap on there, or porcelain. So how the hell's the spark plug going to do its sparking activity? Well, that's what this piece does. This one's a little beat up. The ground strap is actually on the side here, on both sides. And then the center electrode has been pushed up by the tool. And normally it'll sit down in there in the cylinder like that. And there's a little bit of corrosion on there and carbon buildup, and that's what causes it to seize into there. So I went to All Data first, checked everything I needed to know as far as All Data is concerned, and everybody knows how much help they are. So I'm going to show you their instructions real quick. And I'm not going to read through all this, I'm just going to show you it, and you guys can pause the video and read through it all first. Sorry, let me get the first page first. So this is just Ford's recommendations on the type of anti-seize that you want to use and all this. Obviously they're going to recommend Motorcraft products because that's how they get paid. So these are all the notes and precautions that you want to take before. And I did all of these. I read through these 4 or 5 times before I even started on this tune-up. And you still get broken plugs. So here's a different view. This is the piece that gets jammed into the cylinder. This piece and the porcelain up here come out just as normal. Alright, and next we have the instructions on the tool. See if I can get all of that in there so you guys can still read it. Now this tool, I work at a major corporation that sells parts and does service. I'm sure you guys know who I'm talking about. And they don't have it for rent or for sale. So I went to Harbor Freight. Harbor Freight doesn't have it for sale. So I went to AutoZone. AutoZone doesn't have it for rent or sale. And on the way back from AutoZone, I passed by my O'Reilly's, and I was thinking about stopping by. I said, you know what? It's not even worth the gas pulling into the parking lot. They're not going to have it. Sure enough, go back to work, call them. They've got it in stock. They had like 10 of them in stock. Kind of stupid, so now I've got to go all the way back, grab that. Tool itself cost me 110 bucks with tax and everything. And removing one broken spark plug, flat rate, you get paid an hour. So you can either get paid an hour for this, or risk seeing if the customer wants to pay for the whole cylinder head getting removed and you can press it out from there. And I'd rather not take a cylinder head off if I didn't have to. So here's the tool. I'm going to show you real quick how the instructions tell you how to use it. So you back this plunger out all the way, and this is going to be a 19 and a 17. So if you take this all out, these threads plug into the spark plug threads in the block, or in the cylinder head, sorry. And you want to get that a little bit snug, just enough so you're not going to rip the threads out, because that's going to really screw up your day. So that'll be in the cylinder. You'll take this pin, drop it in there, and I like to put anti-seize on these threads and on the tip of this, because that will keep the porcelain from dropping down in there, and it'll keep all the porcelain away from the threads and all the important stuff. Then you take this is the 17, thread that in, and as you see, as I reel this in, the plunger is going to come out as you thread it in, and that's going to actually push your porcelain through this sleeve. You're going to break the ground strap in half, and it's going to go all the way down. And all data, and I think this is Lisle tools, both say that it's impossible for the porcelain to come out of this metal sleeve. So what I did was I threaded this plunger down as far as I could, or as far as I felt comfortable, backed it out, and then checked if I could get it with the next tool. I couldn't, so I went a little bit farther, and the instructions say turn that plunger all the way in until it bottoms out with your 19mm face here. I managed to get it out, and I still had about 1/4 to 1/2 inch sticking out above that plunger. So after you get that ground strap, obviously you're not going to be able to see it because that's down in the cylinder. After you get enough clearance in there, you're going to take this aluminum tube, stick that down in the cylinder wall, and then take this bit. It's easy out on one side, and then you've got, they're both reverse thread, so turn these counterclockwise, stick that down in there. You've got an 11mm on there, and you counterclockwise that until you feel it grab into your metal housing there. And so used to turning the proper way. So that'll get in there. Try and get as many threads down in there as possible. And then you're going to turn this. I believe it's 22. Looks about right. You're going to turn that one counterclockwise. And as you tighten that, it's going to pull this bit out. And you'll hear a bunch of creaks and groans and the spark plug, generally bitching. But it will come out. If you feel it get really easy, chances are that you rip the threads out of this. So you have to, go in with your 11 again, back this nut all the way out by turning clockwise, and turn your 11 again, get some good threads in there, and that will pull out. Now, you want to make sure that you keep a nylon washer in there. In the kit, it comes with a couple extras. You can get more from Home Depot, so there's no worries on that. But For $100, this is well worth it. Otherwise, you're spending probably close to 10 hours yanking that cylinder head out. And then once you get this all the way out, it'll pull straight out of the aluminum sleeve. Take this over to your vise, get your 11 back on there, and you'll be able to unscrew that and you'll be on your way. Generally, well, there's no real telling. If you look at your spark plugs from the top and there's paint on top of the spark plug, that means that it's the first spark plug that's ever been in there. Depending on your mileage, if you're at 50,000 miles, you should be okay. If you're at 118 like this Lincoln was, you're probably going to break one or two. I usually see 3 broken. I've had some that, you know, all 8 broke. I've had some that none of them broke. But always keep this on hand, because if you had to run out to the store, you're going to be screwed.
What company is it? Wrap it up.